my viewers to yet another thrilling talk show series, Marketing Today and Tomorrow, where we are going to discuss the core of marketing, branding, and advertising, and how marketing is shaping up with a change in time with some of the preeminent figures in the industries. And in this episode, we are going to diverge in the world of marketing and brand communication with one of the leading communication experts, Mr. Vivek Chattopadhyay, who is the head of communication in ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel Limited. An alumnus of Jadavpur University, Mr. Chattopadhyay possesses an experience of 25 rich years in communication and is renowned for designing 360-degree communication strategies. He has rendered services in substantial companies like Ambuja Cements, Tech Mahindra, and Tata Communication. A warm welcome to you, Mr. Vivek. So 25 years in the business of advertising, marketing, brand communication. So how your journey has been and what are the changes and challenges been for you?
Oh, wow. It's a good question indeed. So the first thing everybody knows that the change is the only constant, that old proverb that made new. So the biggest change in this communication world, I think, has been taken in the last few decades. That's the launch of internet. I would say it's not a change, it's a revolution, because like many industries, even in the communication space, it's a paradigm shift. The whole concept of communication has been changed in the last few decades because of the digitalization.
Right.
The relationship between the buyers and sellers, what was there in the 80s and 90s, has been completely changed in the last 2 decades because the proper introductions of the digitalization. Now, you in the changing scenario, you need to be more apt, more equipped, more technologically sophisticated, and being competitive in the market. Otherwise, the brand that you are nurturing currently, that will miss the bus in the changing scenario. And once you are not equipped enough to catch the bus, it will be very difficult to get back again. Definitely, I'll give you some classical example how the changes has taken space and how some of the brand has evolved during the change of time, and some of them have missed the bus. Well, one thing I believe that there are two kinds of brand, as you all know. There's obviously as a product marketing brand, the retail brand, and as the corporate brand. In my next few minutes conversation, I'll more focus on the corporate brand because that is my biggest forte, and I believe there are many brand players are available in the market, those who have done phenomenal job in the retail brand. In case of corporate brand, the whole concept in the same way it has been evolved in the digitalizations. Now, in the corporate brand, your stakeholders are much more aware about you because of the digital platforms. Right. Therefore, your responsibility to communicate as a communication specialist are much more serious, because earlier what used to happen, they has to depend on a couple of traditional media to know about you. Now, information is available 360. So they get to know much more about you, and you have by default you are being transparent nowadays, whether you want or don't want. So your brand strategy has to be designed accordingly, so that it should not address only to the customers or one or two stakeholders. It has to be 360 degree, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when it is, I'm talking about 360 degree, it comes a lot of other stakeholders which normally we do not interact too much. For example, your investors. For example, the community where you are setting up your plant. For example, the bankers and financials. For example, your analysts. These people also now are frequently talking to their respective media about your organizations. So you need to address, of course, your vendors, supplier, customers, all are there. And the largest audience, you should not forget, that is your employees. So you need to customize your communication in a 360-degree manner so that you can attend all these particular stakeholders in a right kind of communication.
huge responsibility to communicate well and to align every stakeholders in the same line of
Correct.
communication here, right? So yeah, and well mentioned here, Mr. Vivek. Like, I mean, as your all your communications are documented in the history of internet, so it's even more equally more responsible thing. Like, I mean, you really have to think 1,000 times before putting any communication outside, right? So
There are one more point which I need to address. I mean, now everybody like you and me, everyone is a communicator. Can be your stakeholder. For example, what has happened earlier, if you go back to 10-15 years back, if any accident takes place in the plant, if there is any fatalities happen in the locations, maybe the television camera cannot reach there, maybe there is no media person. But here today, everybody having a smartphone, so they can capture the views and immediately upload to the any social media platform. So within a few seconds, your stakeholder can create some noise,
right.
which you do not address in an equal turnaround time, then it goes against your brand. That's I'm going to mention.
That's right.
Be equipped enough and you should be fast enough. Your turnaround time has to be 100%. Proficiencies to be counted to counter this kind of activity.
So how do you look upon the purpose-driven communication, Mr. Vivek? It's very important for the brands of today's.
Exactly. Very
Right.
interesting question. Thank you, Deblina.
Yeah. So how what is your say about purpose-driven communication?
Yeah, first thing I would say to each organization that what is your own purpose? What is the purpose of your existence? Why do I exist in the market? What is my key objective? That has to be well defined. What is my vision for the next 10 years? Here the communication comes secondary. If I well define my vision, if I well define my larger view, then I can design the communication accordingly. For example, I can give you that if I talk about the metal and mine businesses, normally if you see the big conglomerate comes this kind of businesses because it is hugely capital intensive business. Now, where do I get the mining, the raw materials? And where do I get the mining rights? Of course, this is not in a metro cities like Mumbai, Delhi, or Calcutta. You have seen that minings are available in the remote places of the country. Now, who lives there? Who lives in this particular region where the actually mining rights come to us? Mostly we have seen the tribal communities, the villages. They largely owning that mining space. Now, question is coming: as a responsible corporate citizen, are you taking adequate precaution to protect their interest while mining for your raw materials? Are you taking care of their well-being, or just simply you are uprooting them and not doing the adequate sustainable development for these people, those who are losing their ground? Now, any big corporate house today, my suggestion and my observation, you have to take a well-planned sustainable development to these people, and that should be part of your vision and mission statement. That is, you are here to explore the mining rights, to get the raw material, and going for a sustainable development to the society at large. That purpose should be well defined in your communication strategy. And if it has been well defined, and that's the responsibility of the board of the directors, that's the responsibility of the team, those who are managing the corporate governance. If that has been well defined, you have to design your sustainable development communication accordingly. You should share your success to the rest of the stakeholders. Look, guys, when we have gone to the remote areas to extract our mining or raw materials, how we have taken care of the society at large. Because if you do not take care of a society at large, it is not sending the good signal to other stakeholders. As I told you in my previous questions, that now the rest of the stakeholders also become very conscious. They do not only look at the profit, They also look after how sustainably you are developing the society, how significantly you are contributing to the society at large. That also a good additional value to your.
So, Mr. Vivek, it would be great if you share some few tips for the best practices for the startups or maybe for the new businesses to, to create a purpose-driven communication.
Well, I mean, the startups, I don't see that too many startups are coming for a capital intensified business. Startups are basically for support system. But anyway, in India, there is a very common practice called CSR communication to become and to showcase yourself as a responsible corporate citizen. So whoever is coming and what kind of business, that needs to be identified, and accordingly they can definitely whatever the government has put laws, but beyond that they can think how to take care of the larger audience beyond the business, how your society at large can be benefited, and definitely that help you to put some kind of face to your brand propositions. I think so. But for the larger extent, I would say one company, I think nobody will mind anything, that's called ITC, Indian Tobacco Company.
Mm-hmm.
If you see their track record in the sustainable development, they have deliberately designed the communication strategy and given more and more weightage to the sustainable development. Now, you can ask the question, why? Why the largest seller tobacco brand has to spend so much on the sustainable development? Now, so they had to do it because traditionally tobacco company was being known as a cigarette seller, which is not good for the society.
Mm-hmm.
And the brand perception has gone down drastically. Oh, these guys are selling tobacco. And recently government has put in a lot of embargo that how smoking is being restricted gradually. So they thought that you have to be positioning in brand such a manner they are not being known as a tobacco company. And almost for 10 years, they have repositioning the brand strategy in such a fantastic manner, I would say. If you go today, the brand has been repositioning from a tobacco company to apparel, to the retail, to hospitality, this kind of business. It is a very funny example I can give it to you. 20 years back, people used to know a brand called WILLS, Wills, is one of the tobacco brand.
Right.
But today's generation will appreciate Wills as an apparel brand. So they have piggybacking the brand value of Wills Tobacco to the new apparel.
Right.
So that's why they repositioning their brand value from a tobacco business to a company that is attributing to the Indian economy. So, and at the same time, since they are in the tobacco business, they have done phenomenal job on the sustainable development. How we'll get to know? If you go today and put your search engine optimization on, and the Google search optimization, if you just put sustainable development, you will see the first 10 stories or first 5 stories are from the ITC.
Mm-hmm.
So they have not only done a significant change in their business strategy, in the mission, vision, and the purpose of the organization, they have repositioned their communication strategy as well. And this integration, the communication strategy and the brand strategy, has been integrated so fantastically. Today's generation knows ITC not as a tobacco brand, rather a multi-facet retail and hospitality company. That's so fantastic.
One should ensure that the communication strategy is going right to the target audience here.
I mean, it's common. I mean, as you know, right is a subjective word. What is working, that is right. I mean, there is always debate between right and best. What is right and what is best. Today what is right, tomorrow it may not be right. But best is everlasting. And that's why there is a difference between right and best. You need to keep on evolve every day. There are many creatives campaign has been failed in the past. Similarly, like there are many movies which has been the best director, the best actor an actress has been worked over there, but that couldn't get been successful. So that means the right part has never worked. And you have seen the many creative campaign and many movies or many things in the life which has not been so much star heavy or so much thoughtfully done, but became successful. So what is win the heart, what is working, that is maybe the right at the right moment. So that's what is working appropriately at the moment. To me, that is right. I can give you many examples beyond the advertising world. If you see, if you go to the Indian cricket team, which is quite popular nowadays, everybody follow cricket. If you see, couple of years back, the selectors, they have identified a coach, which is a famous cricket player called Anil Kumble. He is a man of discipline. He is a man of integrity. But that coach has not gelled well with the cricket team. And what has happened? The Indian cricket captain Virat Kohli gone against him and say, we want to get back our old coach Ravi Shastri. So, and the Ravi Shastri came back as per the request of the Indian cricket captain. And the team done a phenomenal job. So to me, Anil Kumble may be the best coach, but not the right coach. Who's the right coach? Ravi Shastri, because he can nicely integrate the sentiment of Indian cricket team and the ethos of coaching, coach directions. And end result is that India being successful. So here is the difference of the right which is working in the particular condition that I tried to mention.
How do you see, Mr. Vivek, as you move forward, the future of marketing?
In one way, the very simple answer is future is more digital. I imagine that digital will be spread all across. And at the same time, marketing is nothing but buying mind space. If you like someone, if you like some products and services, you like it. And that's all. Here, your emotional part is working much more than rather, rational. If you like particular brand, you like it. If I ask you why you are liking it, you cannot be just give so many reasons, but you like it. So that means you emotionally being driven by that brand. So I think that you can create more emotional mind space to the right digital communication. The interesting part of digital communication, it is changing faster than any other traditional communication. Every day you can get to see hundreds of platforms. Every day you will get to see a new app launching. Every day the competitiveness has become more sharp. So I'll advise to the new generation, guys, don't confuse by the brand and the branding. So branding is a journey. The fundamental remain always the same. What is your objective? You need to make a brand and the brand value. You have to create and how do you create the brand value? You have to create a brand strategy and you need to differentiate or you'll be dying. And in this process, to create the visibility, you need a branding. But branding never gives you the credibility. So many a times I see that people get confused with the look and feel part of the brand. That's not your brand. I'm talking about the 4-letter word, Tata. That means I'm talking about the brand. I can ask you a question to you that when I'm saying Tata, what is come to your mind? Is it come to a mind of a Tata trust factor? Is it come to a mind a big conglomerate? Is it come to a mind Mr. Ratan Tata? Is it come to a mind the blue 90% blue colors? The fundamental of the brand basically lies on your trust factor.
Mr. Vivek, what is your top contributions in your current organization?
Okay, nothing much because I have just taken the responsibility 1 year back. And as you know, the last 1 year was different. It was fully driven by the coronavirus activities. But anyway, what I did, and I think I have done a good job. I have formed a nice, excellent team. And in any organization, if you have a very good team, you firmly believe the support will come automatically from your teammates. So I have formed a nice team, and I have a mission drive. The ArcelorMittal is one of the world's largest steel company. Right. And they have entered in India for the first time. And while entering to the India, they have tied up with another world third largest steel company called Nippon Steel. So, the one way you have the ArcelorMittal, one way you have the Nippon Steel, two greatest company in the world came to India for the first time. They have many miles to go. They have just started operating last 1 year, exactly 1 year back. And the last 1 year you have seen. So my mission to set up one of the biggest steel brand in the country, which can be called ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel. That exercise has been just begun. We have to go many miles. Of course, this is very challenging to establish a steel company, which is as I told you, which is a very capital intensified, mostly B2B driven. So my focus is to establish one of the leading corporate brand in the country, like some of the brand already being established in Indian scenario. So down the line, from 2 to 5 years, you can see the ArcelorMittal Nippon Steel will be one of the largest brand, and that's my aim, that's my vision, and I'm working towards that direction. And I think my team is committed, and I hope that can be done very soon.
Right. And we truly believe in your vision, Mr. Vivek. Wish you all the very best for that.
Thank you.
And it's a huge responsibility and yet challenging when two big companies are merging. The communication and the alignment and each and everything, it's a part of communication itself. So wish you all the best for that. If not a brand communication professional, then who would you have been, Mr. Vivek?
It's a very emotional question, Devlina. I spent some few years without being successful in my filmmaking industry. I spent I worked with one of the leading filmmaker in the country for some days, some months. Unfortunately, it's not been successful, but I nurtured that passion for long. And I spent, as I told you, some hopeless months to make my feature film. Of course, I'm from feature filmmaker. Now I'm being completely a communicator. To some extent, the theme is same, but anyway, it's a different world altogether.
So with this, Mr. Vivek, I'm just moving to a very interesting section of the talk show, which is a rapid fire round, and you have to answer. You have to answer in one word here. So, what is leadership for you?
Taking the ownership, embracing your stakeholders.
Super. What is a book that you're planning to read?
No brand book, please. I have plenty of books in my plan. But currently, I'm reading a documentary of one of the Chinese writers who has written about the history of Indo-China War in 1964. It's a completely untold story, and I think not too many people has read it, but I'm really zapped by reading this particular book. I have finished the book. Of course, many books are being pending to read.
Your greatest influence?
Again, no one particular. No. In other words, I would say there are many people influence my life, so I won't say any particular name.
Right. What's the best thing happened to you this year?
Thank God. I think me and my entire family never been infected on the COVID disease. That's not a very great thing happening in my life. And
that's a blessing.
I think it's the best thing happened in my life, that none of my family being so far is not being infected.
Yeah, that's a blessing, and we have understood, with example to acknowledge the simple things in life. So
yes, of course, yes.
So when are you most inspired?
When I'm getting into some communication activities, I'm making some big brand strategy, making some audio visuals to articulate my brand vision.
Wow, super. So, early in the morning or late in the night? What kind of person?
Whenever I work, I'm a workaholic person. So when I work, it works well for me, whether it's a day or night.
Awesome. What's the best compliment you have ever received?
Oh, it's secret. Let's keep it like that. I won't go into disclose it.
Okay. What does creativity means to you?
Good question. I would say the innovation is more than creativity. Yeah? The word creativity has certain limitation with the time. But innovation to me, I can be wrong, but it's a continuous process. any innovative idea are welcome for branding as long as it is not harming to the mankind.
Right. What is the important life lesson for someone to learn?
Oh, every day is a new day, and you don't know what can happen to you. Therefore, never be complacent. Keep walking.
Your message to the aspiring brand managers, marketers in a communication perspective.
Very simple, Devlina. Hardworking, intelligently working. Keep your knowledge power upward. Read a lot. Remember the famous quote that most important thing in the world have been accomplished by the people who have kept on trying. So when there seems to be no hope at all, so you keep on trying. Anything can happen to anyone. Here, be hardworking, nothing more.
So yes, thank you so much. Such valuable insights and real-time experience, uh, great examples, and I'm sure it is going to add a lot of value to the viewers. And it was a great time, having a conversation with you, Mr. Vivek.